Welcome to the series of gynecology lectures. So today's topic is anatomy of female pelvis and it's the part 1 of this series. So talking about the pelvis, it can be divided into three components. The first is the pelvic skeleton, the second is the pelvic canal, and the third is the pelvic floor. I repeat, first is the pelvic skeleton, second is the pelvic canal, and the third is the pelvic floor. So we will individually talk about these three components. Today's component that we are going to talk about is the pelvic skeleton in this video. The pelvic canal and the pelvic floor will be discussed in the further coming videos. So moving on to the pelvic skeleton. Pelvic skeleton can be studied in three components. The first, the bones residing in the pelvis. Second, the joints that stays in the pelvis. And the third, the ligaments of pelvis. Specifically talking about the pelvic bones, we can part the pelvic bones into three components. The first are the innominate bones, the second is the sacrum, and the third is the coccyx. So what are the innominate bones? The innominate bones are the group of bones which reside on the flare of pelvis, that is this part. As we know that this part is called ilium, this part is called as ischium, and this is the pubic bone. These three bones fuses to each other to form a big bone or the big fusion bone, which is called as innominate bone. So as you know that the ilium is attached to the sacrum, the ischium is attached to ilium and pubis, and the pubis is attached to ischium and pubis, another pubis. So what should we know about these innominate bones? Innominate bones, as I already explained you, are three in number on each side. The ilium is the largest flared out part of this innominate bone. The ischium is the thick lower part, as I described already. We should know the two landmarks in the ischium: the ischial tuberosity, on which the body rests while sitting, and the ischial spine. So let's take a look at that part. It's generally located here on the posterior side, and the ischial spine generally comes downwardly projected towards the sacrum. So we should know these two parts because the ischial spine, which is generally situated here posteriorly, is the main part and plays an important role in delivery that we will be explaining further. The third innominate bone is the pubis. The pubic bone forms the anterior part. These are the pubic bones. They attach to each other and this is called as a symphysis. Now about the obturator foramen, which is the single landmark that we should be knowing in these pubic bones. The obturator foramen is made of ischium, the rami of pubis. Now the remaining bones are the sacrum and the coccyx. The sacrum, which is the fusion of 5 vertebrae, is the bone which holds the innominate bones together. The sacrum is the fusion of 5 vertebrae. As you already know from the basics of your anatomy, these are the 5 vertebrae which are fused together and a closed bone is formed, which is called as a sacrum. The few things that we should know about the sacrum is that outward projection of the first sacral vertebra is known as promontory. So this is the promontory. The second thing that we should know about the sacrum is that sacrum has the curvature. Anteriorly, sacrum is concave, while posteriorly it is convex. So it is concave anteriorly and convex posteriorly. Now, about coccyx. As we already know, the coccyx is the vestigial tail of human. Normally it is immobile, but during delivery, some movements can be observed. We know that the pelvic skeleton can be divided into three structures. First were the pelvic bones. The second thing that pelvic skeleton contains is the pelvic joint or pelvic joints, as there are many. There are four pelvic joints. The first is joint somewhere here. This joint is called as sacroiliac joint. So there are two in number. That means these two joints. The second joint is the joint of two pubic bones. This joint is cartilaginous joint, and that's why it is called as a symphysis. The third joint is between the coccyx and the sacrum. Coccyx lies somewhere here, as you know already. Coccyx lies somewhere here, and the joint between the coccyx and the sacrum is called as sacrococcygeal joint. The third part of the pelvic skeleton are the pelvic ligaments. To know more about the pelvic ligament, we should be following this diagram. To learn the ligaments, you should learn the bones and the joints of the pelvis. The ligaments follow the joints. So the first is from sacrum to ilium. From sacrum to ilium. So this ligament is called as sacroiliac ligament, which is placed both anteriorly and posteriorly. Sacroiliac ligament. So there are four sacroiliac ligaments: anterior left sacroiliac ligament, posterior left sacroiliac ligament, anterior right sacroiliac ligament, and posterior right sacroiliac ligament. Now, from sacrum to tuberosity, as we already know that we have learned two landmarks on the ischium. One was the tuberosity and the another was the ischial spine. So sacrum sends its ligament both to these landmarks, and that's why we are learning this, so as to form the floor, which we'll be dealing in the next video. So the ligaments are as follows: anterior left sacroiliac ligament, anterior right sacroiliac ligament, posterior left sacroiliac ligament, and posterior right sacroiliac ligament. Here, left sacrotuberous ligament, left sacrospinous ligament, right sacrotuberous ligament, right sacrospinous ligament, and interspinous ligaments. So this concludes the ligaments. Now let's read the material that's given in our presentation. Let's read the material. Pelvic ligaments can be roughly divided into four types. The first, anterior sacroiliac ligament, posterior sacroiliac ligament. Two types of sacroischial ligaments are there: left and right sacrotuberous ligament, left and right sacrospinous ligament, and sacrococcygeal ligament, which is situated somewhere here. Sacrococcygeal ligament on both sides. So this concludes the video of first part of anatomy of female pelvis. Goodbye.